Hey guys, welcome to another week of Meat and Sprouts. First of all, let me apologize for our little lapse in posting last week and the week before that. Due to the weather and also since Meat has been pretty sick, we were unable to post, and we do apologize for that. But we're back in the swing of things, and I'm starting off this week. We're still going to continue on with the ingredient of mozzarella. So this week I am making an easy vegetable lasagna. It's really just a spinach lasagna because I adapted the recipe to what I kind of like. But the recipe comes from the Vegetarian 5-Ingredient Gourmet by Nava Atlas. And what I like about Nava Atlas books is that obviously by the title it's 5 ingredients. The recipes are very simple. There's not more than probably 3 or 4 steps. So it's easy for anyone to cook. So there's really no excuse to not try vegetarian cooking when it's easy, and there's recipes out there that you can do that don't require a lot of time, don't require a lot of ingredients, and don't require a lot of money. So which are all things, if you read my bio, or if you listen to my bio, actually, that's kind of things that I'm going for. Let me get you started with the ingredients for this week's recipe. Alright guys, so the recipe calls for a 28-ounce jar of pasta sauce. This is actually a 26-ounce jar, but I mean, 2 ounces. It also calls for an 8-ounce pack of no-boil noodles, but I happen to like the noodles that you have to boil in order to make your lasagna. So this is a 16-ounce box, and I'm going to use the whole thing and not the 8 ounces that the recipe calls for. A 15-ounce tub of ricotta cheese, which is what I have. It asks for 3 cups of lightly steamed vegetables. This is actually a 10-ounce bag of regular spinach, not the baby spinach. The recipe calls for broccoli or zucchini, but I'm just going to go use spinach. And then an 8-ounce bag of mozzarella cheese. I actually have a 16-ounce bag because I like a lot of cheese on my lasagna. And then as a little additive, I'm going to use Morningstar Meal Starters soy crumbles. I like the soy crumbles because it gives a little bit more texture. I use it as a separate layer in my lasagna, or sometimes I add it to the sauce and then I just make it as like a meat sauce. So, you can try it, you can not try it. I mean, it's up to you, but I just like it for the texture. So I already have the water boiling, so we're gonna go get started. Alright, so you see that I have a rolling boil on my lasagna. I've already put my lasagna in. And you just have to be attentive to lasagna. You don't want to stir too hard because you don't want to break lasagna. Lasagna noodles are pretty resilient, so you can be moderately rough with your lasagna noodles. And I think I have one stuck down there. I guess he's just going to go ahead and sacrifice himself for the good of the rest of them, but I would have preferred not to lose any of them. I'm going to go ahead and put my spinach on and let it just steam. I want it to wilt quite a bit so that I can get it into the layers of the lasagna. I'm actually going to probably apply the spinach by hand on a layer by itself. So just let it wilt all the way down. And the reason why they probably want you to use 3 cups of vegetables is because we all know that spinach basically wilts down to nothing once it actually gets, steamed, or however you cook it. So the 10 ounces of spinach that I had in here before that filled the whole thing up is now wilted to like basically 1 cup. I also started my sauce. I just put my pasta sauce in here and seasoned with, I seasoned my sauce with about 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic, and I love oregano and Italian seasoning, so I I loaded up with the Italian seasoning. I'm actually going to put some more Italian seasoning in here. Oh yeah. Okay. I know you're like, whoa, Italian seasoning, but I love Italian seasoning. I don't know, call me ghetto, you can, I don't care. I'm actually going to go ahead and add the meat, the meat to the dish and to the sauce. Like I said before, I like to normally do it as a separate item, but you can also just add to the sauce, and then you won't have as many layers, or you don't have to go with a meat layer and then a sauce, well, not a sauce layer, but you would put cheese. Well, I do anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and add the meat. I like a hearty sauce, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in here real quick. If you were going to do the meat separate, then, like I said, you would season accordingly. I usually put Italian seasoning because, like I already said, I love me some Italian seasoning. Gotta get this in here so that I can go ahead and go back to my lasagna. It probably looks a little chunky right now, but once you let it boil for a little bit, it starts to get a little bit more juicy. So, okay, back to your lasagna. This might be a time that you need to have somebody else in the kitchen to help you go back and forth. I mean, you know, if you're an avid cooker, then you probably don't need an extra person, or you probably wouldn't do everything at one time like I'm doing right now. But I kind of want to have all my parts of the lasagna ready when it comes to the assemblage. I just also want to make sure that my lasagna is not sticking together, because that kind of becomes problematic when you have to actually assemble. But my spinach is looking good too. It's almost there where I need it to be. So I only have a couple more pieces in here that are not wilted all the way. So I'll go ahead and get those towards the bottom so they can get more of the heat. Okay, also, while we're doing this, we want to go ahead and preheat our oven to 350 degrees, because as we all know, you have to bake a lasagna. Where is my 350? There it is. Alright, well, you'll obviously assemble your lasagna the way that you like it assembled, but normally I start with, you know, a layer of noodles. Oops, that one broke, so that's okay. I need to wet my noodles a little bit because they're sticking together. I'll just save that one till last. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a layer of, I like to work my hands, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a layer of sauce. I'm going to put one more piece of lasagna on the side so that I don't have too much seepage. Ouch. Oh, it's still hot, obviously. Alright, let me finish this sauce here. And you put as much sauce as you want per layer. I mean, I like to keep things kind of simple on each layer so that I make sure that I have enough for the top. Alright, we'll go to the next layer. And don't worry, I know I said we want to try to get the lasagna to look as nice as possible, but due to the nature of the way the world works sometimes, your lasagna is going to break. Oh, this lasagna is so hot. Okay. So I guess that's a tip to you guys. Make sure that your lasagna is cooled down a little bit. But I like to work as quick as possible, so that's why I'm going straight from the pan to the casserole dish. Again, this is a 9 by 13 dish, so this should be substantial. Alright, so we're ready to go ahead and get into the oven with our lasagna. So our lasagna had been in the oven for about 35 minutes, and this is what it looks like. It's got that golden brown color on it that we're looking for. So that's pretty much it for basically a 5-ingredient vegetarian lasagna. Go ahead and make sure you rate this video and comment on this video and subscribe to the YouTube so that you can keep updated as to when I upload. I don't know if Meat will go ahead and start doing YouTubes, but also make sure you comment on the blog as well so that we know if this was an easy recipe for you or if you made adaptations to this recipe that made it a little bit different and made it more scrumptious. And also comment on what you would like to see from us as far as upcoming vlogs.